VY, how are we doing today? Hey, my name is Nathaniel Jefferson, and I get to be one of your leaders here at Vertical Youth. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing great. I hope your week been going well. Listen, we're in a series called In My Fields. But before we get there, I want us to celebrate our small group leaders. From the girls groups to the guys group, it has been absolutely amazing thus far. So I want you to clap it up for all your small groups leaders right where they are, make them uncomfortable, and just say thank you for all of their hard work and all their sacrifices that they've been giving. Let's also give it up for Danielle. Didn't she kill it last week? She did absolutely phenomenal. So when you see her, just tell her, D, man, we thank you for your message. It touched us in a very real way. And just tell her how that message really hit you in the chest. You know what I mean? It hit you in the chest. And then last but not least, let's give it up for the greatest youth and young adult pastor that God has ever created, Pastor David, or to y'all, Pastor Fluff. He is absolutely amazing. He makes everything we do here at Vertical Youth possible. So when y'all see him, just thank him, say we love you and we honor you, all right? Again, as I said in the beginning, we are in a series called In My Fields. And I get to talk for a couple minutes with you guys. And I'm going to be dealing with a subject called triggered to anger. Triggered to anger. Are y'all ready? Say you ready. Are you really ready? Then say it, scream it. Scream it in your leader's face. Say you ready. Okay, I hear you. You ready? Let's dig right into it. When you hear of someone feeling triggered, what comes to your mind first? What do you think that person has experienced? You may say something like rejection, betrayal, unjust treatment, helplessness or loss of control, feeling unwanted or unneeded, maybe even being overly criticized. All of these situations can cause someone to be triggered. And I know some of us has been triggered by some or maybe even all of these situations, and that's okay. That's okay, because those feelings aren't the best. No one wants to be betrayed or get rejected or feel unwanted, right? But somewhere as you're journeying through life, Vertical Youth, you will experience one or more of these situations and they will trigger you. But you being triggered, hear me, you being triggered isn't the issue. I believe, watch me, I believe it's what you do and how you respond to your triggers that can become an issue. I'm gonna repeat that. I believe what you do and how you respond to your triggers that can become an issue. I want you to write this down. Unmanaged triggers can lead to uncontrolled anger. Can I repeat that? Unmanaged triggers can lead to uncontrolled anger. Anger is a byproduct of unmanaged triggers. When you are triggered by something and it's controlled or unmanaged, it can lead to anger. When you are triggered by some things and you don't control or manage that trigger, it can lead to uncontrolled anger. I believe anger has 4 ways it reveals itself when someone is triggered. You ready? Physical anger. When you're angry to the point that you just want to break and destroy things. I know I've been there. I remember one time when I was in school and my teacher did not allow me to do something. I remember I punched a brick wall and better believe that my hand, it was sure enough hurting. Yeah, that's physical anger, right? Or, here it is, mental anger. You beat yourself up over and over again because something didn't go as planned or worked out the way you have hoped. It's triggering. Another way is verbal anger. When you say things to get back at those who hurt you or made you angry, right? These are all ways in the way that anger reveals itself. Let's look at this passage of scriptures. James 1:19 says this. Get out your Bibles, your phone, your Bibles, whatever you got, go to James 1:19. I'm reading the New International Version. It says this. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I'm going to repeat that for my people that's in the back that didn't grab their Bibles. I know you did. I see you right through the camera. Here, this is what it says. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. If you don't know anything about James, that's all right. James was a disciple of Jesus, and he was also his half-brother. So if anyone knew the importance of not allowing uncontrolled triggers or unmanaged triggers to become uncontrolled anger, would be him. So it's interesting. I want you to catch this. It's interesting how James starts off by saying, take note of this. He was basically saying, you can't afford to miss what I'm about to say. You can't allow it to go in one ear and out of the other. He was saying, listen, you have to pay close attention to the things that I'm about to say. Take note. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Notice how James didn't say, you can't become angry. Notice how he didn't say, you shouldn't become angry. But what he did say is that you should be slow to become angry. Anger, here it is an emotion, and it's okay to have it. Yes, it is absolutely okay for you to be angry sometimes. Sometimes things will make you angry. Watch this, but it is never okay to allow anger to control you. Did you hear what I just said? It is never okay to allow anger to control you. And triggers unmanaged, watch me, will lead to anger uncontrolled. You have to be intentional about discovering the things that are triggering you, and you have to identify them. Because if you don't, you aren't managing them. And as I said, unmanaged triggers can lead to uncontrolled anger. You feel me with that? But then there's 2 points that I want to share with you all that I feel like will give you some steps to fully managing these triggers so that it won't lead to uncontrolled anger. Number 1 is identify what's triggering you and acknowledge it. Because what you don't, I want you to write this down. What you don't acknowledge or what you don't identify can sometimes hinder you. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. What you don't identify or what you don't acknowledge can sometimes hinder you. You have to identify it and acknowledge it. Acknowledging your triggers place you in the places in the proper perspective. There it is. And it gives you the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? What you did to me or what you're doing is reminding me of something that hurt me, and I have to let you know that, right? You have to identify the trigger, and then you have to acknowledge the trigger. Number 2, you have to communicate it to a trusted source, like a mentor, one of your leaders here at Vertical Youth, a coach, your parents. Because talking about your emotions when you are triggered is healthy. It allows you to release the anger you may feel when those memories come back. You hear what I'm saying? It gives you the opportunity to talk about it in a healthy way so that you can start to help people understand that either what you are experiencing or what they're doing to you, right? To see that, hey, wow, this is bothering him or this is bothering her. You have to communicate that, because what you don't communicate to others, they don't have the privilege to understand. They need to hear it from you. You understand what I'm saying? The last point that I got for you is invite Jesus into these things. Invite Jesus into what's triggering you. Because when you invite Jesus in, he gives you an opportunity. Watch me. He gives you an opportunity for you to be vulnerable and honest with him, to say, Jesus, can you help me through this? This is bothering me. It's hurting to me. It calls me to think about things that happened to me, right? When you invite Jesus into your situation, not only can you be vulnerable with him, but he gives you steps, the blueprint for you to become healed. Well, I want you to go talk this over with your leaders, triggered to anger, and talk about, be transparent, come up with some ideas on how God can start to help you manage the triggers that you have so that it doesn't lead to uncontrolled anger. Be transparent, be open in the conversation. I know it's going to be a great topic to discuss. Last but not least, December 14th is our next one night. Listen, we calling it bye-bye. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to remember all that God has done over the course of this year, how he's been faithful and how he has always been consistent. And I want you guys to be ready for that and tell all your friends about it. Until next time, I'll see you again. Peace.